Hello and welcome into Wiffle Wednesday live chat episode 35. We are in it. Today is actually the first day of the National Sports Card Convention, and I put it on the thumbnail that I think the National is overrated from my perspective. And I'm coming at that from someone who buys and sells cards for a living, but it's in the $5 to $50 range. So I enjoy going to sports card shows pretty much every weekend, sometimes two, three, even four times in a weekend. I'll go to a different show. And the National is every show I could imagine all in one. Everything stacked on top of each other. And it's literally 5 days long. So I could just go through value boxes day after day after day. But what the National has working against it from my perspective and why I'm not a huge fan of it is um, that it's in Chicago, that I have to pay to stay there. Shaka, what's going on? And when it's in Cleveland, I go every time it's in Cleveland. It's down the street. I don't have to pay for a hotel. I just pay for my ticket at the time, pop in, and go on whichever days and times it's convenient for me. But right now, when it's in Chicago and people are very it's extremely popular. So many people are staying there that the hotels in and around the city are booked. So you have to get further away from town. And I was actually going to be in Naperville. Well, I was hoping to be in Naperville for baseball this weekend. And then I was just going to drive into the city once or twice and go to the show, but it didn't end up working out that way. So no National for me, and I'm perfectly okay with it. It's always busier than you expect. Like I know when it was in Cleveland, we had traffic issues and like getting people into the convention center. The like ticket booths to allow people into the state into the parking lot were backed up into the street like around the block. It was a major pain. But the biggest issue for me as someone who like was there locally, once I got in, there was still a line all the way around the building. Like, unless you were I think it was super VIP as a ticket, unless you were one of the super VIPs, you were stuck in line for another hour and a half. I don't know. I just think the whole process the whole thing is a little bit overrated. It's cool if you can go one time. I've been three times, four times. I'm not even sure how many times I've gone now. But I think I've seen it. I think I've seen everything that I want to see when it comes to the National Sports Card Convention. Don't get me wrong; I would love to be there if I could just pop down the street and go in and look at all the boxes without anyone being there. But that's not always the case. It's extremely packed, ton of people. It's kind of overwhelming. You need to like have a book bag or something to carry stuff in. It's just a big undertaking, both financially if it's out of town and just in the moment with so many people there. So I try not to. I try not to hype the National up. I would like to go when it's convenient, but if it's not convenient, I don't make a big deal of it. I don't have FOMO at all. I'm actually trying to use the National as an advantage for me. I was thinking about doing I am doing whatnot shows today and tomorrow, but I would like to do Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to take Friday off because Friday's my birthday. Do a uh little partying, nothing too crazy, but do a show each of those nights to capitalize and literally call the shows like no National, no problem, or something along those lines to hopefully be online when a lot of the big streamers or big companies will be at the National focused on buying and selling or doing whatever they're doing at the National. I know some people are like going to the Cubs games. I think the Cubs play the Yankees, oddly enough, so that'll draw pretty big over the weekend as well. So I'm going to try and capitalize on it and be where other people aren't going to be. Hopefully, online streaming, selling some singles. My biggest issue, I think, is going to be volume. I was just looking at the cards behind me. I got to pack those up right there and get those top loaded and ready for whatnot streams tonight and tomorrow. And then I'll see what kind of inventory I can find on Saturday. Saturday, I have a show in the morning. I expect it to be small. I expect it to be slow, but I expect it to be very little competition. So I'm hopeful I can snatch up some stuff and then run a show Saturday and or Sunday night. Saturday is probably not going to happen. We're going out Saturday night as well, so that one probably won't happen. But depending on how the night goes, it'd be awesome to pop in and do like a late Saturday show. Listen, Shaka, I got one for you. I don't know if you've reached out to me. I'll put my email in the chat. Make sure you send me your address because I still have that camo sitting around here somewhere for you. Just shoot me an email and make sure you send me your address so I can send that to you. I want to say I found another one actually. It may have been just a gold in a bunch of gold lots I purchased, but I think it might have been a rookie. If you email me, I could probably send you a picture of it. Uh, I picked up another 300. It was actually 298. You need the 2021 Campbell? Listen, I'll be on the lookout. I picked up another 298 card lot of Topps Golds. The Topps Gold Parallels, I started the eBay store only around that, and it's really cool. It's really fun. The only thing is, I wish I dedicated more time to it and listed more, because I actually took notes on it because I was curious like how the sell through rate was. I have sold 25 items, and that's really not a ton, but it's more than one per day. And something like this is just getting off the ground. So I was looking at, or I did store categories, and I sorted by team. So every card that I upload, I then put into the proper team store category. And right now there's only like 10 to 20 of each team, so it's nothing crazy. But I think once I build that up, I don't think it's. I mean, I probably have the inventory to get well over 2,000 cards in there within the next 6 to 8 weeks. I don't think it's too crazy once I have 100 cards in some of these team categories that I'll get 10, 20 card orders with some regularity. We'll see. But so far I've sold 25 cards of the 481 that I listed. So it's a 5% sell-through rate. Pressed Comics, what's going on? 5% sell-through rate on a store that is only Topps Gold cards with a pretty big margin. So I don't know. It's fun. I'll say that it's fun looking for those, and also finding deals online, searching Topps Gold, and taking out certain keywords, like taking out Topps Gold label or taking out 1992, 1993 when they did the first years of the Topps Golds, and finding other modern card lots, whether it be gold refractors, golden mirrors, the actual gold serial number that I'm looking for. Has been a lot of fun searching those. I do need to chill out on the buying, because I was looking at, I created a spreadsheet just for this store. And so far, money out, it's more than this, but since I started the store on July 7th, money out is $338 on picking up different lots and mixed buys and things like that, and stuff I find at card shops and card stores or card shows. And the money in is only $75. It's actually $74.98. So as of right now, this is a losing proposition by well over $250, which in the grand scheme of things is minimal. But I need to keep listing and selling and proving the concept before I continuously buy and just have these stacks of golds that I can't get listed. I have the stack behind me over here, and I think it's 2005. I don't remember. You can see the stack right there. It's the tallest stack of all the years. I think that 2005 set, I probably have over half the set. And I still, like, even in this most recent 300 card lot I bought, most of it was 2005. I didn't know. It was listed really weird. I had to message the seller like, "Hey, how many of these are actually the serial numbered gold cards?" And they told me a rough count. And for the price I got it at, I got them at less than a quarter per. So it was a good purchase. That is kind of my goal number, is 25 cents per or less. If I get them for less, I'll buy all that I can. Some of them, the more recent ones, I'll buy for $1. Some of the bigger players I'll buy for much more. About a Trout PSA 9 for $40 this weekend. I'll do that anytime I can for some of those star players. But the idea of like building it is still very new, and it's fun, and I'm enjoying it. But the actual concept of like, could this be if this was all I did, would it be good enough? And I don't think so, but I do think that there's profit to be made and there's ability to make money. I don't know if I can make it my only source, and I'm not trying to. I don't think I would ever want to, because I just like so much about the card market and stuff like that. But I do say that as I am a little bit worried about the baseball card world. Jeff Passan tweeted out this week talking about the trade deadline and how GMs may be approaching the trade deadline if we have a lockout, or if they're expecting a lockout or things like that. And Passan said that there are GMs expecting to miss the entire 2027 season. I have no idea how that will affect the baseball card market and affect like my overall sales, but I cannot imagine a world where it's good. There should be minor league games, and I would assume that anyone not already on the 40-man would continue to play. I don't know. It's hard, because if you have a guy like I'm trying to think someone on the absolute verge of being called up who's not on the 40 man. Regardless, if you're about to be called up and you're not on the 40 man, are you going to play an entire season of minor league baseball when you are this close to the majors? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I would love it if baseball cards were like Pokemon cards and they just kept nothing happened and all of the players kept selling for exactly the same amount or continuously going up, but I don't see it. That is one of the things I wrote down. I will transition to non-sport if I have to, but it won't be Pokemon or Magic or One Piece. I think it would be more along the lines of like Marvel, Disney, other specialty like Harry Potter, specialty. What's the word I'm looking for? IPs, intellectual properties. That is more of what I would lean towards, along with vintage. And then I think so. I actually wrote down the list of how I would do it, and my ranking. Non-sport is number one. Number two, I hate to say it, is football. I don't know how I feel about that. I just think for my location in Cleveland, football has the most availability. Right or wrong, or how I would like learn that stuff, I don't know. But I just like football so much more than baseball. It does offer a deeper player pool also. So if I'm looking into college cards, which is probably where I'd lean even more so than football in general, I'd probably lean more towards like Bowman U or the whatever college products exist. On it is one of them. I would lean more towards that. And then minor league baseball is still going to happen. So I would look at Bowman prospecting and minor league cards and things like that. But the third thing on my list, it is not basketball. It says Jordan and LeBron. I bought graded Jordan this weekend at a shop, and I don't love it. I do not feel good about it, but it is this market that I see that is continuously on an upward trend. And what we see in it's in all sports, but if there's a good rookie class, people buy that rookie class. If there is not a good rookie class, money tends to lean towards, like they call it, the GOAT market, the greatest. And I actually think we are not going to go back to a heavy rookie class. There will still be some buying of the rookies, but I think the GOAT's top end cards and players, not necessarily all cards, but inserts, case hits, things like that, are still going to continuously be the cards that people chase. They're going to be the most sought after. So I'm leaning more towards staying in the GOAT market. I think that is like the coldest take of all time. Everyone is doing that. But if everyone is doing it, there's an opportunity, one, to catch and ride the wave upward, kind of like I did with Ohtani. I bought and sold Ohtani every day that I've been buying and selling for the last 3 years. And yes, I've purchased cards that I sold for a lot less money. I purchased them later and sold them for more because this continuous trend, you just ride it and keep riding it up. And I think that can happen on the basketball side of things, the LeBron, GOAT market. But I think I can ride that wave. It won't be nearly with as much success because I won't recognize what's rare versus what looks cool. Because for baseball, I don't know the exact print runs of everything, but I know some type of hit rate that they come up, the actual rareness of them, whether they're serial numbered, whether they're desirable sets, a Bowman's Best versus a Bowman Chrome versus a Topps Chrome. In baseball, I can definitively tell you exactly, if you have a blue refractor from each set, exactly what order those would sell in. But if I had to do that for football or basketball, I would struggle immensely. So I do think there will be a massive learning curve, but I'm willing to try it. I may not have a choice. And also, maybe cards aren't it at that point. Maybe if I'm missing baseball, maybe I focus on some vintage stuff. And if I'm not selling enough vintage, maybe I just take a break from being a full-time card seller and, get back in the job market or go back to the floor store. It's not impossible. It's not it's not failure. It's just circumstances change. Life changes. Maybe I'm working stiff again. We'll see. Yeah, Shaka, I bought and sold Pokemon cards in school. I remember keeping them in my locker. I remember selling them to Rich. I won't say his last name. Rich from back in the day. Good old Black River. I never would have expected what they became. I never would have expected. To me, I still don't understand how they are growing in popularity. I feel like the actual like new class of Pokemon or whatever the last like new evolutions were, I don't feel like the desire is there. Of course, the 150 run, the OG 151s are always popular, but I don't understand how they're continuing to grow. Nothing's changing within their their abilities. They're not getting better at baseball. They're not getting worse. They're not getting elected to the Hall of Fame. I don't quite understand it. I understand how Marvel can be more relevant based on what's showing up, what movies are coming out, what stars are being signed to contracts. Like Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom is very interesting to me. I could understand how both his Iron Man cards and his potential Doctor Doom cards will become more popular, more sought after. Same thing with Captain America. I could see how the why can't I think of his name? There's so many Chris's in the thing. How the OG Captain America cards would become much more sought after as he makes another appearance in Doomsday. I don't know. I could just understand it more in my tiny little monkey brain. So yeah, the National does sound like too many people. I wholeheartedly agree. And I noticed it in Cleveland, and you'll see it too. If there are a section of value boxes, there's so many more people trying to buy from value boxes at the National than there are value boxes at the National. So what happens is if you have a good one, the people just crowd around it. They back up. Chris Evans, thank God. Thank you. I wanted to say Pratt, knew that wasn't right. Wanted to say Pine, knew that wasn't right. Chris Evans. I've been told that from back in the day, this was when I was in high school, that I kind of looked like Chris Evans. Not that that matters anymore, but it's a thing. Listen, I don't understand why fictional character cards are worth more, but I'm gonna keep it in the back of my head. I need to start learning more. I talk about that guy Slab Squatch who posts his stuff about like print runs and value and short prints and things like that. He has done a couple recent write-ups on Disney and Marvel products, and you know what I've done? Absolutely nothing about it. So I need to read those. I also need to take it into account when I'm going to shows and shops that I need to look at their non-sport stuff. Even if I don't know what I'm looking at, maybe I pick out the 3 cards that I think should be the most valuable, look them up on Card Ladder, on eBay, and see, are there 100 of them? Are there 10,000 of them? Are there 70,000 of them? What am I looking at? And just kind of teach myself that way, because I do it with baseball cards. If I see a card from a new release that I'm not 100% sure about, I usually look it up. Or if a card from a certain player looks like I think, hey, that should be worth more than the sticker, it should be worth a lot less than the sticker, I will look it up on the spot and kind of see why is that value there. And I can get a pretty good idea quickly when it comes to baseball cards. I don't know anything about non-sport, but you don't know it if you don't try. So I gotta start looking stuff up and learning about it. And also, I've bought and sold some X-Men wax. I think I had some Marvel. I bought the GPK Sapphire stuff back in 2020. That stuff went insane. So there's a world where it won't be as big of a transition to non-sport, but I think I need to start doing it 2 months ago and start rolling over some of my inventory into that. I think one thing I'm taking for granted that is cool that I have the ability to do now that I didn't before is that Whatnot exists. So if like on a random Tuesday, I think to myself, man, I'm worried about baseball cards. I'm worried about this guy in particular. I'm worried about whatever. I can grab all of Jesus Christ. Thanks, Joe. I really appreciate that. Listen, I am making a comparison that I heard literally 20 years ago. So in 2006, he was probably making, was it Not Another Teen Movie that he was in, or one of those like parody movies? That is the version, because I also had hair back then and it was gelled up and thick like that. Listen, I'm not gonna stand up and prove it to you, but I'm doing all right back there. Oh man. So I don't even know what I was talking about. Non-sport, sport. I was in Buffalo this weekend. I'll talk about that. And this kind of ma'am, get out of here. I can confirm. Thank you, dear. I was in Buffalo this weekend and I was playing baseball. Spoiler alert, we lost in the championship on Sunday, so I'm not in Chicago this week. She got me. There's a little bit of run. Peter Dinklage. Oh, geez. Peter Dinklage in the most recent Dexter. Peter Dinklage in the most recent Dexter. I don't even know what it's called anymore because there's been a couple of iterations of it. He is amazing in that. That is such a good show. Anyway, Buffalo. we played this weekend. We got knocked out on Sunday in the championship. It wasn't technically the championship. We had to win twice, but it was against a very, very good team. So we are done. That season is over for me. The other team from our city, well, two teams from our city. One got an automatic bid to Chicago because they've won the World Series a couple years. So once you win, I think you get 3 years of exemption. You go straight to. And then another team from our league won their regional in Youngstown, Ohio. So we actually have 2 of the 16 teams in the World Series in Chicago. So that's pretty cool. Our division, our league, it's only 5 teams, but it is ultra competitive. Pretty cool that we're sending 2 teams. We've sent 2 teams the last 3 seasons, which is, I think that's so cool. We have 2 of the last 5 champions, but it's the same team. We have 1 team that is just stacked. They continue to reload every year. It's impressive how good they are. They've actually won our league championship league title for 20 consecutive years. They don't even play in our end of year tournament because we have first half and second half of the season, and they win both of them every year. So they don't even have to play in the elimination tournament. It's insane how good they are in comparison and how consistent they are. They just show up and win. I beat them this year. First one, whatever. Not important at all. But yeah, it's amateur baseball, definitely not getting paid, but it is fun. Keeps you young. I said this was my last year, but I already have talks to work out in the off season. So when that happens, who knows? Maybe if I'm in better shape next year, I'll keep it going. Buffalo was a bust as far as the card market for buying. I did buy probably 75 cards. It's just not a baseball market. I went to 6 shops, and the first shop I went to was I could have walked to from my hotel. And when I was talking to him, he was great. He gave me a rundown of everything in the area because I told him, hey, I came here 2 years ago. I stopped in here. It was last year, actually. I was like, you were awesome. This shop was awesome. I was excited to visit, and how many other shops there were in the area. And I gave him a list of all the stuff I wanted to go to. He's like, yeah, I mean, you'll find some stuff here and there, but between that one and DA, I probably could have stopped right there. I went to 4 other shops after that. I think I bought a total of, 20 cards from the last 4 shops. There was one that was really cool. It had a ton of wax, and it was wax from like 1984 all the way through to today, and it was across multiple sports. They had those old collector's choice boxes with Griffey on the front. They had some 2017 Topps Update, 2018 Topps Update. So, Judge and Ohtani rookies, which was pretty cool, but they were $100 a pack. I'm good on that. I think 2017 was $30 a pack, and it's not his true rookie. It has his rookie debut and then a couple others. So not nearly as desirable, but it was cool to see all of the different selections that they have. For me personally, I don't have any desire to buy those or, probably not a lot of margin in it if I did try and resell them. So it was cool to see, but not necessarily for my purposes. So I was disappointed overall with my buying out there. Buffalo is obviously where the Bills play, the Sabres play. There's a AAA baseball, but they don't have a ton of affiliation. Cleveland's 3 hours away. Toronto's 4 hours away because you have to go around. Detroit's 4 hours away. The actual Yankees are 6 to 7 hours away. It is hard to find a ton of baseball cards. I bought so much 1993, 94 Upper Deck Collector's Choice. That was the Jamie's Flea Market special. They were everywhere, and I just remember those packs with my brothers. We opened those all the time. J-back shops are hard. I will definitely admit that, but they're still. I think because I have some really good experiences within Cleveland that I was expecting to find some better stuff out in Buffalo, but it was just not nearly as competitively priced. Even something like this. So I went to Buffalo. I only came back with 40 cards, and I wanted to try and run 4 shows this week. So I was like, all right, I got to head to Columbus and the surrounding shops around there. There's one shop down there, Midwest Cards, which has this single selection that is just massive. They have drawers and drawers of cards that are updated pretty regularly. The only issue that I run into is now that I've been there I think I've gone there 5 different times. I've seen a lot of those cards, and I am looking at a lot of the same cards for the 3rd, 4th, 5th time. But this most recent time, I went on Monday, and they had a I get 10% off. They have like a bulk deal. Like it's not offered to everyone, but almost everyone, 10% off your order. So they gave me 10% off. And then I was there for their happy hour from 2 to 5 on a Monday. I got another $50 off. And then I have tax exempt. I put a tax exempt form in there because I have an Ohio's vendor's license. So I got all this purchases tax free. And it was originally going to be $800. And I walked out of there with like at $620 for what I had. So that was a pretty big discount when I was leaving there. I was kind of blown away at some of the actual numbers because something like this, $30. I'm expecting to list this. By the way, I didn't notice this before I went live, but this is numbered 4 of 20. I bet this 420 carries some premium. I'm a child, but this is from 2015 Tops. It's the gold frame. It's the thick boy from 2015 Tops Kershaw. This has a $30 price tag on it. The last sale I see on it's not this one. He won the MVP and the Cy Young, so he has a Series 2 card that has one MVP and one Cy Young. The last Cy Young one sold for $31.51 at auction. Please don't sell this card at auction because the previous sales of a framed card, so either the Cy Young or the MVP, 109.95, 100, 144.13, and 155. That one was graded, but I think it was a 9. So anyway, Cody Bellinger special numbering. So that one I picked up for 30 with the discounts. It comes out to like 24.60 or something like that. Happy to have that. I'm going to list this for like $150. So that was a pretty cool pickup. And this is the same shop that I bought those 2 Jeters from earlier. They did not have all of this stuff out last time. I purchased all kinds of this 2015 stuff. Kershaw to 99, Chris Sale to 64 for $5, 2 Byron Buxton rookies, a Trout MVP pink. I think the last sale on this, again, non-auction, was well over $100. So they priced this stuff based on some of the auction sales, and that is not a good way to price your cards. Another Trout, another Jeter, and a Kershaw. I showed this in the full video of my pickups, but man, some of these 2015s that I got from the shop I'm absolutely pumped for. And some of these, thank you, 420 for the win. I actually saw that and I was like, well, I mean, it's not nothing. There aren't many cards numbered to 20, so that's not something I would normally look for or think about. But 420, it's the best serial numbering it could be, probably outside of 1. But some of these cards, I mean, I'm going to list a lot of these for 100 or more. So that was a pretty cool find this week. I'm really glad I popped down there on Monday. And then I went to another shop down the street and picked up this 24 Heritage mini short print of Acuna. This is such an interesting card. I talk about 2014 mini all of the time because I think it's one of those sets that I was early on. I said it's going to be popular when it was out. I ended up purchasing 70-ish some boxes and sell it. I bought them and sold them, bought them and ripped them. I did all kinds of stuff, but I turned over a lot of profit. Looking for these minis now, 2 years later, is still one of my favorite things to do. I paid $10 for this, but the last, again, non-auction sale, stopped selling these cards at auction, sold for $125. And the previous one at auction was from COMC. So, people don't always trust them because of their shipping times. It was listed at an auction and it had a bad photo. So there is a full-size variation of this that doesn't sell for nearly as much. So if you don't show that it's specifically a mini card in your photo, I do think you'll lose some bidders. So picking this up at 10, listing it for likely 150. Decent week for like eBay stuff, which I was surprised about because this is kind of the area that I've been struggling with lately, is finding stuff with good margins that I can list on eBay. I'm finding quicker flips and lower end flips in the 5 to 20 range that I'm selling on Whatnot. But having a stack of that kind of stuff for eBay was a nice surprise. And, we just talked about finding it from a card shop. I kind of feel like I, robbed them a little bit. Obviously, they knew what they were buying when they bought it because I know the purchaser for Midwest. I know him like personally. I knew him before he worked there. And we were talking about this 2015 stuff that he was buying and how he was pricing it and how much room he had on some of the stuff that he did buy. Really interesting that they're still, even listed at $30, $35 or whatever I'm bought these for, how much money they probably made and how much I think, room there is to list this stuff at. So I'm excited to get that stuff listed. That'll probably happen over the next 2 days, and then get the rest of this whatnot stuff going. One last thing I did want to talk about that's not on the thumbnail. It is 1 week since I made my 2026 Topps Chrome baseball straight up arrow prediction. And the last hobby box that I see sold for 400, buy it now, 455, 465. 2026 Topps Chrome, until that Otani dual logo man is pulled, is going to it's going to be a straight arrow up. And the other thing is, and I don't know if like me thinking like this makes me a bad person, but I think this is even more important than the Paul Skeens from 2024. If you pull that card, I would just wouldn't say anything. It's probably price manipulation. If this was the stock market, it'd be illegal, but baseball cards are unregulated. I would pull that card and I would keep my mouth shut and I would buy all of the wax that I could until I felt like, all right, I probably need to stop spending this money and start selling some of these boxes. And I would just trade boxes of 2026 Topps Chrome until I got tired. And then I would cash in my, what is it, $12 million card. I want to say the most recent bounty I saw was for $12 million. I would probably get like a loan from the bank or financial backing from another card person if I thought I could trust them. If I thought, hey, I have the card, let's go nuts with boxes. Let's buy as many as we can and manipulate the market. It probably makes me a bad person. And saying that and actually having that card in my hand, I probably wouldn't do it. But it would not surprise me if that happens in the background for Topps Chrome for that card. It may have already been pulled. It may be pulled, and people will do exactly what I'm describing. So I think 2026 Topps Chrome hobby and jumbo boxes in particular are just a pretty safe buy. I think they'll be in an upward trajectory. Definitely don't go blow all of the money that you possibly can, because $400 a box is not nothing. But I think they trend upward for a very long time, at least until that card is pulled. And even then, one card isn't going to just yank the market down, but it may not be a steady increase. It may level off a little bit, maybe decline a little bit. But if I do end up pulling that card, I'll probably take the immediate life-changing money and then let you guys know right after, because that would be cool. I also think if I did pull that card and if it was National Weekend, I would go to the National and I would definitely get someone to give me a table and be like, put this out and be like, hey, I have this card. What's the biggest offer I can get right now today that you can wire transfer me, and I'll hand you the card, because I would want to do it in person. I don't care about taxes. I'll pay the taxes. All that stuff is fine. But let's get this deal done right now. Best offer takes it. And, all the big dogs are there. As soon as I set it up and tell one person, everyone will know within the hour. So that'd be a cool experience. And if it wasn't the National, maybe I take it to Dallas, or maybe like I think Burbank puts on a big show, or maybe I just take it to Burbank and Burbank post it online, or at Cards HQ, whichever big company I think would get the most exposure. Just show up and be like, all right, what will you offer me? And also post this to your socials. Thank you. I would, if you are in a random shop in New York and you come across that Vlad VGJ3 auto, I don't I'm curious how you would even handle it. Would you scream? Would you tell the shop owner or whoever's there to open the case that it's in? Give me this card now. I'm really curious how you would handle it, because I feel like it would not be your finest moment, but it would be worth it. It would be however you decided to show your emotion, it would be 100% warranted. I think I ran through all of my notes here. Topps Gold Store should be growing, hopefully. Card shows this weekend will be light because of the National Card Convention, but there are a few in the area, and I'm actually going to use that to my advantage. Yeah. After you paid the money for it, you'd be like, and by the way, this completes the set. I still have a few of these around myself. They're still chilling here. You gave me, I shouldn't say you sold these to me at a good price. I'm still not sure how to handle it. I listed a graded one and a raw one, and I sold a couple on Whatnot just to test because like I said, you gave me such a good price. I felt safe doing that. I'm still not sure how to move all these. It doesn't help that Vlad is having a pretty down season. So this might just be a put these away and hope that he has a couple monster seasons and then break them out again in a couple years. Or, if there's no 2027 season, maybe these just go to COMC and sit there until the end of time. COMC, if they shipped faster, I think it would. I think it'd be a lot better. Man, COMC could be such a cool tool if they shipped faster or shipped like at a normal rate. I was looking at my stuff in there because I was thinking about pulling some of it out. The shipping times are like 6 months and $74 to ship 100 cards. It's embarrassing. If someone could make COMC how it like in theory should be run, because they can ship cards from eBay very quickly. I've bought from them on eBay and they ship it within a week. So the fact that they have these huge lead times on stuff that's just sitting there, I don't know. I think they're just choosing not to focus on that, and it kind of sucks because that was supposed to be the idea behind it. It wasn't supposed to be an eBay consigner. We have plenty of those. It was supposed to be something that could list your cards. You could trade them, ship them, move them from account to account without ever physically touching the cards. But if you can't actually ever get them to you, it defeats the purpose. So someone make a better COMC, please. Yeah. Pulling the Freddie Freeman from 2020 probably lit a little fire. When I pulled the Trout Red Ink Auto from Heritage, I do have that on video. That's one of my biggest reactions. And then also the O'Neal Cruz Superfractor from the base packs of 2022 Topps Chrome Logo Fractor. That's one of my biggest on-camera reactions as well. Otani. Soto Super is up there as well. Yeah, he's definitely not helping the cause at all. And I even thought about sending one or two to like a DC Sports, like a consigner, because I have some other stuff I was thinking about sending to them, and I was just going to mix in a couple, which I still might do. That's not off the table. But man, I would just love for him to light it up a little bit, man. Come on, Vlad. You've been getting internal error message. Interesting. It's not always smooth. That website is still very clunky. But it's still the opportunity to buy and sell stuff on there is happening. I mean, I had a couple like flips this week. I think I have like $77 in there. But usually if I have a sale, I immediately go buy something else. So I just have this never-ending run of cards that I'm buying. I have 556 cards in inventory right now, and I've sold $17,000 worth of stuff on there. Most of that $17,000 has been put right back into more inventory. And I don't think I'll ever actually cash out of there. I'll just buy more stuff. But man, if they could make that more efficient, I would be enamored with it. And I would send more stuff to it. Right now, I'm just worried about them like not being able to fulfill orders, and the desire for those cards to be flipped will be less and less and less as that I think that marketplace becomes kind of irrelevant. They do a lot of stuff on eBay. That's great. I would want it for cards that don't sell well on eBay, like exactly this 2015 stuff. So if I wanted to take a break from selling cards, I would ship all of them or all of these types of cards that have some like staying power, but I definitely don't want to auction. I don't want to discount. And I also don't want to like 10-2 daily. I would put that in my COMC account and just let it sit there until it sells, pay my 1 cent storage fees or whatever it is per month. And, just rotate inventory that way. But it takes 16 weeks to send it off to get it listed. So in 4 months from right now, we may not have baseball. Like we'll be on the verge of the lockout. That would be the end of November. And I think it's like December 20th that agreement ends. So yeah, we may not even have baseball at that time. Yeah, I have. I hit an Otani 1-of-1 auto from the Berman's baseball, and I was by myself, and it was like the slowest. It wasn't even that slow. It was just like the most nonchalant reveal of all time. I know this sounds crazy, but when I bought that product, I was like, man, it'd be cool if I pulled an Otani auto from that specific product, and then I did, and it was the 1-of-1, and I was just like, huh, that's pretty cool. Snapped some pictures, obviously, and send it to everyone I know that new cards or things like that. And then, yeah, that was a fun one. But I usually keep the reactions pretty mild unless I'm with someone. If I'm with someone, the excitement is 10 out of 10. Like I take it to the next level. It's just so much more fun. It's so much more enjoyable with someone else. Um, I would, yeah, I can't even remember a time where I celebrated opening when I wasn't with someone. I feel like it's just something that I do. Like, it feels like work. So I just rip and rip and rip and I pull something cool. I'm like, oh, cool. Snap a picture, send it to a few people, and then I'm back to on to the next thing and then trying to get that listed and priced and stuff like that. But I think that was all I had today. I don't think until October I have anything coming up where I would like miss time or travel anywhere. So I'm thinking for the next, we'll call it 12 weeks. What is that? Yeah, 12-ish weeks. I'm going to try and lock in a little bit harder, try and sell a little bit more, try and buy a little less actually. And if it is buying, I'm going to try and make it football and basketball maybe. I don't know. I think the transition away from baseball is coming for me. I'm hoping that it's short term. I'm hoping that it's not forever, but we'll see how things go. We'll see how things progress. I do not think there will be a 2027 season. So that, yeah, I mean, I'll give you that one. If I hit that card, I think I would, man, I don't know. I do think I would go immediately like buy something crazy. Like I think I'd go buy like a four-wheeler or a motorcycle or something. I think that would be my celebration, along with potentially actually shitting my pants. Yeah. I would probably go buy new golf clubs. I think that's what I do. I would head straight to like a or not Top Golf, Golf Galaxy or what was, there's two of them, Golf Galaxy, Golf Now, maybe. Either way, I would head straight to one of those and be like, all right, get me a professional, fit me for clubs, and check out this swing. I want the brand new technology, and get me right now, because I'm not working anymore. I'm going straight to the golf course every day from now on. I'm not touching work anymore. 5 store credit. Geez, 5 million in store credit, just ripping at like every day. Be like, hey, Buzz, what kind of case you got for me? Rip me a case. Rip me a case. Come on, pulling off the shelf. Rip me a case a day for I don't even know. That's a long time. But let's say 5,000 case at 5 million. I should be able to do this math off the top of my head, but I can't. 1,000 cases. So you could do a 5,000 case for 1,000 straight days. That sounds awesome. That sounds incredible. Yeah, let's go buy some Topps Chrome and pull that card. That would just be I'd retire immediately. 42 minutes of Wednesday chatting. I appreciate you guys being here. My viewership got up to 6. I think that's the most I've had live. That wasn't for a break. So anyone that stopped in, commented on my butt, whatever it might have been, I appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Same time, hopefully noon next Wednesday, the Wiffle live chat. We'll see you then.